People First podcast is a show presented by people with learning disabilities for our friends and communities. We talk about issues important to us and interview interesting guests, find out new information. This is our way to make a difference and have our voices heard.
Hello everyone, my name is Andrej and I come from Slovenia. That's a small country in Central Europe. I work at RTV Slovenia, a public broadcaster, a bit like the BBC. I work for Access Services. We make our programs and news open to everyone, for example with subtitles, sign language and also easy language. My job, among other things, is that I take the news and make it easy to read and easy to understand in clear and simple words. We have a dedicated website for this, it's called Enostavno, which translates to English as simple. A friend from the BBC, William Kremer, told me about your podcast. You make it yourselves and you talk about the things that matter to you. I already wrote a short story about your podcast for our website in Slovenia. The special part of the website is called Dostopno, which translates to English as accessible. We also lead a European project called ENACT. In this project, public broadcasters and other organizations from different countries work together to make the news easy to understand for everyone. Along with finding out what already works and doing our own research, we will also produce recommendations and a special website, so that journalists everywhere can learn how to do it well. And now I'm happy to be here with you. Usually you interview your guests, so today I get to turn it around a little. I have some questions for you about your own show, so thank you to the whole team for doing this with me. How did the People First podcast start? And what made you want to be part of it?
Well, it started as Real Talk Radio in 2017. Members then decided they wanted to branch out into podcasting. COVID stopped all radio, so after that we started the podcast. I'm a DJ and I'm into presenting, so I wanted to do more of that at work and grow into it from there.
I'd heard the People First podcast interviewed politicians and interesting people in politics and advocacy, and I wanted to endorse that and spread the good word.
I had a choice to do the podcast because I like interviewing people.
And I joined to make new friends, and I wanted to interview people I was interested in.
I wanted to join because I'd done radio at college and wanted to do more in more detail and learn more skills like interviewing over Zoom and bringing that to my work.
I wanted to try something new, and after the few shows I found that interviewing different people was so interesting. I wanted to carry on.
I wanted to make the greatest podcast of all time and keep doing new interviews.
What is your job on the podcast and what do you enjoy the most?
I am a podcast interviewer and I type out things to make the office workable about human souls. I really enjoy the interview.
I enjoyed when we do interviews to promote the community. I do take sometimes questions. I am also a part of the uploading and social media team.
I really love emailing people. to invite them to our podcast because I research lots of different kinds of people. I enjoy the teamwork as well. I am a podcast booker and interviewer.
I like to join with everything and don't have a favourite thing.
I like doing the uploading once a week because once it's out, I can share our shows with my family.
I am a podcast presenter and I enjoy uploading because you can learn about podcasts you didn't take part in and get a lot of new information.
Your show is made by people with learning disabilities for people with learning disabilities.
I enjoy researching and emailing guests and being an interviewer. I think researching is fun because you're thinking about what is interesting and relevant to our show, so everyone will enjoy it. Then we can think of good questions.
How do you decide together what to talk about and who to interview?
In a way, there are a few ways. Sometimes we sit together and come up with ideas and topics. Sometimes staff will support someone when they have an idea they really want to do.
Episodes are tailor-made for us. If we have something we are interested in, we work with staff to find a guest or research to make an episode around it.
How do you get ready for an interview? What helps you feel calm and confident when you record?
Depending on the show, I tend to feel relaxed, especially when I planned the show because I know about them and that the show will be a success. Doing that means a lot to me.
I feel confident because I prepare ahead of time, making sure the tech is set up and we know about the guests.
We make sure to research questions of key points ready beforehand, so we can be confident going in. Having questions on topics makes it easier to improvise because we have a script to go back if we are unsure.
In 2025, you started a second show called Podcast Corner. It is more fun and relaxed. Why did you want to make it?
We wanted a show that was more free-flowing and less scripted, to make interviews sound more natural and improve our interview skills. When I listen back, I can tell the difference.
We wanted to do some interviews that weren't formal or about being disabled. We are disabled, but we are people as well, who have other interests.
We also didn't want to have serious topics one week and fun ones the next, because it might confuse our audience.
Especially when inviting, we didn't want to confuse people about the tone of the show.
What do you do to make the podcast easy for everyone to listen and understand?
We don't use complicated words that are hard to understand.
We also try to make questions follow on from each other, so it's easier to follow, much like what we've done for this, really.
We'd have a time and don't rush.
That makes it much easier.
You also interviewed Vicky Foxcroft, a member of Parliament. First, you sent a question to Parliament and then she came on the show. How did that feel and what did it mean to you?
I started for an email to Vicky's team. A member of staff and I sent a question to be asked at Prime Minister's question to ask why the role of Disability Minister had been downgraded.
After that, we invited Vicky to address our concerns about the change and some of the challenges faced by disabled people.
We were all very excited. We all worked together with this question to ask. We came up with so many had to choose the best 11 to ask in the interview.
I supported the tech for the episode.
We are all impressed in the way she spoke to us. She was very open about her thoughts and some of the challenges about having the money available to make change.
Whereas these people using people with lived experiences was the most important. That was encouraging.
I definitely would say it was interesting, a proud moment for our podcast to talk to someone so important.
What is for you the best moment on the show? Or maybe your favorite guest?
I interviewed my dad because he is a trustee and a coach of Bradford Disability Football Club. It made me much happier and showing our social club.
My favourite moment and interview was when we interviewed Clive Mantle, who was in Robin of Sherwood. He was a great guest who explained acting to us, and he explained everything so well. I prefer the casual interviews because you can follow the conversation and enjoy.
I emailed and organised an interview with Shirley Houston, MBE, who is a disabled actor on Coronation Street, and that's my favourite show. That was my highlight.
I organised to interview a local band called Undercover 2. We always go to them a lot. I got to learn about their music. They even played for us on the show.
We interviewed Darren Shan. He was such an interesting guy. I could have talked to him all day.
I don't know, there's that many. I'd probably say Big Soup. They're another local organisation I attend. We got to share all the stuff that goes on, and it was a crazy and bonkers interview.
I enjoyed when we interviewed our podcast lead, Adam, and his band, which was so fun to interview Adam. Instead of him being on our side, supporting with questions.
What is the hardest part of making the podcast?
I'd say when you're doing the research and working out the best questions to ask, especially when there's a lot of information. Often we send some questions to encourage people to take on interviews, so there's plenty of pressure.
When the Wi-Fi goes wrong in a Zoom interview, we have to be patient and think of other solutions, such as doing it over the phone.
I find typing up questions and social media stuff sometimes difficult.
The number one thing is the prep. Who do you want to interview? What about getting your email right, CCing all of the team to keep them involved?
Sometimes I struggle to understand some of the questions when I speak up and ask for help, and we can check or change our words.
Comical with questions. I want to make sure they are all interesting and relevant.
And to finish this off, what would you like to do next on the show?
I'd like us to keep getting more listeners and recognitions.
People with learning disabilities have every right to know what's going on out there.
And that we can just do podcasting like anyone else, even though we've got learning disabilities.
There's a lot of stigmatising around people with disabilities. That's right. Us doing the podcast is so important.
I'd like us to do a live show in the future on a radio station.
I'd like us to keep getting more listeners and recognition.
Just keep growing, get more listeners and become more popular.
Thank you so much, all of you. This is all from me, from RTV Slovenia. It was a real pleasure to be on your podcast. Warm wishes from Slovenia to you and to everyone listening.
If you enjoyed, follow us on social media to learn more about what we do and our upcoming interviews. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, X and Instagram by searching for the People First podcast. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.